Today I will be showing you how to make my 100% cotton spiral hot pad. The materials you will need is a 4mm G-hook, 1 darning needle, a pair of scissors, 11 stitch markers, and 1 skein of 100% cotton yarn. Do make sure whatever yarn you choose is 100% cotton, as when making a hot pad, if you use acrylic, it can melt, which will not only ruin your counter and your cooktop, but also your cookware. I love this cotton in the color pistache because I think it's a pretty color. Scoot all this to the side. And the first thing you will need to do is to make a magic circle. So hold out your first finger and your middle finger and lay the yarn across it and hold that with your thumb. Take the working end of your yarn and wind it around your middle and first finger, creating a little X. Place your thumb on the X and turn your hand over. I like to hold the yarn with the working end with my pinky while I make the magic circle. Take your hook and put it hook side down. Put it underneath the first string and pull up the second string, turning towards you, and then chain 1 to make a slip knot. And then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we are placing 12 double crochet into the ring. So that's 1, 2, 3, and we are working over both ends. So we want to keep that end that we are working over. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and since we're getting awful close here, we can give it a little tug. And this is double crochet number 12. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we are going to pull this beginning end. We're going to pull that tight, but not to close it all the way. We will not close it all the way until later when we have more rounds complete. So we have 12 double crochet and a chain 2. That chain 2 is nothing but a placeholder throughout the pattern. So we are going to ignore it and then slip stitch into that very first double crochet. We're going to chain 2 again. And now we are going to double crochet around that very first double crochet around the post. So we yarn over, insert, and then come out the other side, yarn over, and pull up a stitch, and then we are just going to complete a regular double crochet. And we have created this tiny little space between that post and that very next double crochet, which we are going to double crochet into. This is our increase round. So then we are going to double crochet around the next post and then double crochet behind, and then double crochet around the next post and then double crochet behind. So we will complete this pattern all the way around, and I will meet you back around for the beginning of round 3. Okay, I am completing the last double crochet behind for round 2. And then I'll be slip stitching in the space between the chain 2 and the first double crochet, and then chaining 2 more. And then this round we will be placing 2 double crochet into the space. So you double crochet around the post. So we're creating a line that you can see, the one that will go up all the way. So these are all front post double crochet. So we are starting to create the spiral. So then we're going to go behind and place 2 double crochets into that same space. And we're going to move right on to that next double crochet around the post, and double crochet around the next post, and then 2 double crochet in behind. And we're going to do the same for number 3, and we will repeat the exact same thing 12 times because that's how many posts we have to double crochet around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. Okay, I am completing the last double crochet for round 3, and then we'll slip stitch in between the chain 2 and the double crochet, chain 2 more, double crochet around the same post line as before, except this time we're putting 3 double crochet into this space. There's 1, silly me, 2, and 3, and as you notice, we're starting to curve. And we're going to double crochet around the next post, and then 1, 2, and 3 into the next space, and then I will complete round 4 and meet you for the beginning of round 5. I'm creating the last grouping for round 4, so double crocheting around the post, oops, and then 1, 2, oops, and 3, double crochet and slip stitch between the chain 2 and the double crochet and chain 2 more. So for round 5, we will be placing 1 extra double crochet in behind, so we are inserting 4 double crochet for round 5. So we're going to double crochet around the post and then insert 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet around the next post, and insert 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet. You'll repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet you back for the end of round 5. Repeating the last double crochet for round 4. Then we'll slip stitch into the space between the chain 2, chain 2 more, double crochet around the post, and then this time for round 6, we will be putting 5 double crochets into that space here. And you will notice that the space is the same size at every round, so if you make the bottoms of your double crochets a little bit longer to accommodate that space, you certainly can. It will run over a little bit on top of this first double crochet, but that's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to double crochet around the next post, and then put 5 more double crochet behind that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if this starts to buckle on you, it's just fine. Just give it a little stretch and it'll flatten right back out for you. And I will meet you around for the end of round 6. Okay, this is the 5th double crochet in the space for round 6. To begin round 7, slip stitch to fasten off, chain 2, double crochet around the post. And for round 7, we are placing 6 double crochet into the space between the post and that first double crochet from the last round. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And like I said, if that last double crochet bleeds into that first double crochet from the previous round a little bit, that's okay. That just helps create the spiral. Now we're just going to lean over and go into that double crochet and crochet around the post and then put 6 double crochet here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you'll just repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you around for the end of round 7 and the beginning of round 8. Okay, to finish off round 7, I'm slip stitching between the chain 2 and the double crochet, and we're going to chain 2 again. And for round 8, we are double crocheting around the post and then placing 7 double crochet into that space behind the post. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we double crochet around the next post. And then 7 more double crochet behind the post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you repeat that process all the way around, and I will meet you back here for the ending of round 8 and the beginning of round 9, which joins our 2 pieces together. All right, and to fasten off for the end of round 8, for the piece that we are fastening off, we're going to slip stitch between the chain 2, and then we're going to chain 1, then fasten off the yarn and pull all the way through, and then pull it very tightly so as, and you don't have to leave a very long tail, but I like to leave a semi-long tail so I can crochet over it. And then to connect your 2 pieces, you're going to take your stitch marker and put it through the hole between the previous double crochet from the last fan and that first double crochet around the post. I'm going to place that through both pieces. Okay. And then put one here. I like to put one in each depression to help keep the whole thing connected so it doesn't get out of space. So I like to put one in each depression after every fan. So to connect them, we're going to start with, I'll move this tail over here. We're going to start with the one that is still connected to the skein. Take that stitch marker out of there. And I only have so many ends here because I accidentally fastened off both pieces, so you won't have that problem. So what we're going to do is we are going to start in that double crochet around the post here. We're going through this stitch and through this stitch. And then, like I said, I'm leaving my ends here so I can crochet over them and make them into the work. So you're going to insert through both the front and back of both stitches on both sides, and then pull through, and then start a regular single crochet, yarn over, and pull through 2. So insert through, so this side of this one, and this side of this one, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to do that all the way around. And then I will meet you back here for the end of round 9, because we are going to create a hanging hook here in this original depression that we started in. So you do not want to fasten off, and then join me back here for the end of round 9. Okay, so I am completing the very last fan of stitches before going to the chain. Single crochet. Like I said, we are single crocheting through both stitches on either side. To make sure that both pieces are fully secured and are completely lined up 100%. And I am crocheting over the tail of the piece that we fastened off, just to make sure it is 100% secure inside of the project. All right, so we've reached the last single crochet of the last fan stitch, so we can take out this stitch marker. And what we're going to do is, now that we've run out of room for this tail, we're just going to push it inside, because we've crocheted over it for an entire fan. So what we're going to do is, in this very last open stitch, which is the open area between that double crochet around the post and the last double crochet from row 8, we're going to slip stitch into this space, and then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we are going to slip stitch back into the exact same space. Then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to turn this around. And to make this, because this is our hanging chain, if someone wishes to hang it in their kitchen or hang it wherever. And to make it more secure, we are going to single crochet around it. Now with a chain of 10, if you have tight single crochets, you're going to need more than 10 single crochets. I don't normally give a count, because sometimes while I'm crocheting, I will scooch them back, because since we're crocheting around something else, I will scooch them down to make it a tighter ring. So you're going to need more than 10 single crochets around this chain, which is why I only say single crochet across the chain. We're almost done. Oh dear. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get caught in the yarn. It doesn't hurt the yarn at all. Yarn barf. And then you're just going to single crochet until you get to the very end here. And you want to make sure that you cover that whole chain so everything is nice and secure. And you have one solid piece. I think I can squeeze one more single crochet in there. Oh dear. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we are going to cut a longer tail, and then we are going to slip stitch here back into this stitch here, not this stitch here that we stitched these into, but the very next double crochet. We're going to slip stitch into that and pull our thread through, and then we're going to take our darning needle and we're going to thread it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go right back into that stitch you just slip stitched into, and we're going to go all the way through that chain. What we're doing is we are securing it to make sure that it doesn't turn, and make sure that it stays in the same place and make sure that it's just very secure and stable to the base. You can go through back and forth as many times as you like. That's why I cut a longer chain, because I do like to go through in different directions, changing directions multiple times while weaving in my ends. It just makes me feel better. If you only want to pull through a couple times, that's fine. But for my own sanity, I like to pull through a bunch of times. And then when you are fully satisfied that you have pulled through quite enough times, and your chain is secure, you can go through and you can just weave your thread or weave your end in through the double crochets just to hide your end. I recommend changing directions about 3 times just to make sure that your ends are fully secure. And because I cut this to this length, I'm just going to weave in this entire length, because I think it would just be silly to fasten it off. That's just me. This is where nails come in handy. Okay, and there you have a fully fastened off double-sided hot pad that is 100% cotton. And like I said, the insides aren't secured together. It's just the outside, but it's nice and double thick, and it's 100% cotton, so it will not melt. Thanks for joining Kate's Crochet, and have a wonderful day.